What up, ladies, gents, and everyone in between? Shoe Booty Sports coming at you Tuesday night for the always, usually that is anyway. I'm your host, Graham Powell, on this screen. That's Bradley on the other. Say what's poppin', Brad.
What is popping?
Few things to talk about here and there. Before we do so, let's give a quick shout out to our sponsor. Shoe Booty Sports is presented by Rhino Races. Rhino Races is a virtual race series that offers 5 different races: a 5K, 10K, half marathon, and marathon, and the one of a kind Rhino Ultra. You can sign up for one or all 5 of their races at rhinoraces.com. Run your race at your convenience, track it with your fitness app of choice. Screenshot your results as proof of completion. Submit that screenshot to rhinoraces.com under the submit results section. Once your results are verified by Rhino Races staff, your reward will be shipped to you by mail. Also, check out their gear section while you're there for t-shirts, wristbands, decals, and more. That's rhinoraces.com. Rhino Races is the premier virtual running series, and you can find us, Shoe Booty Sports, on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on X at Shoe Booty Sports. So, browsing the old S Pen app, I see that Lane Kiffin is denying that he was given an ultimatum by Ole Miss. Just says it's not true.
Yeah.
And the ultimatum being Ole Miss wants to know by the Egg Bowl or before the Egg Bowl whether or not he is staying at Ole Miss or taking another job elsewhere. And that other job would be either Florida or LSU. Those are the only two out there.
Yeah. He's not going for the Auburn job? Is that what you're telling me?
I've not heard anything about Auburn, but I would think that one would be what I don't even know. I don't even know where to rank Auburn. It's not a job. It's a good job, but it's not a job I'd want
Yeah.
if
Well,
I had options.
so is Arkansas.
Arkansas is a good job.
Well, you don't want it.
I say it depends on who you ask. I don't think that's a good job. I don't. You can win at Arkansas if you have the right guy, but even then, there's a ceiling. You're not getting a national championship in football at Arkansas. That's just not going to happen.
Nope. Not
Especially,
unless there's some new epidemic that strikes all the other SEC teams and top teams in the nation, just solely those teams. I don't see it happening.
yeah, I'm gonna say they would strike Arkansas first if there were ever something like that. They would be the first to go. The Razorback program, that is. But we kind of said we weren't going to talk Arkansas football, even though we know we are. But we'll get to that in a little bit. It's the
Yeah.
same old story, but just a different Saturday. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But let's Lane Kiffin. We'll get back to that. If you're okay, one, if you're Lane Kiffin, what would you do and what should you do? And are those the same thing?
They're not the same thing. Uh, what he should do, I mean, you follow the money, he's going to get a hell of a pay raise if he goes to the Florida gig. He's going to have better recruiting. He's going to have better everything, except for their standards going to be a lot higher, and they probably won't be okay with an 8-win season every now and then, because that's how they got into this whole predicament right now. They kept firing good enough coaches for everybody else, but not good enough for Florida. Um, but what he probably, I don't know, feels like he should do, I mean, the right thing to do, his life would be easier if he stayed at Ole Miss. He's a god at Ole Miss. He should stay there. He can't do anything wrong. He can run that program into the dirt and they wouldn't fire him for 6 seasons. So
6 seasons, but it's yeah, he's a rock star in Oxford.
he's great. I seen him on Pat McAfee at lunchtime today. He's a great interview. Great guy. He crashed that wedding proposal a couple of weeks ago. He's still promoting Ole Miss really hard. Um, so yeah, he's doing what he's supposed to do. Denying everything. Of course, it. Why would Ole Miss give him an ultimatum? That'd be the dumbest thing ever. So what if he told you he wasn't going to coach y'all before the Egg Bowl? What are you going to do? Fire him and go into the college football playoff with some guy who hasn't been running the team? Makes no makes no sense at all. So yeah, I would agree that that is total BS. Um, and yeah, it none of that makes sense. But yeah, what I think you should do, follow the money. What would probably be best for him would be to stay put.
So if you were Lane Kiffin, you would take the Florida job, it sounds like.
Yes,
You would take that over LSU.
yes.
Why?
Like I said, I think the whole recruiting. Yeah, Louisiana per capita puts up a lot of NFL players come out of that one state, but so does Florida, and more years than not, Florida beats them out for that position. Everybody recruits Florida, of course. Everybody recruits Louisiana. Um, you have I don't know. I think you have better resources. Probably have better boosters. You have more money. Um, your fan base has dealt with some slumping seasons for like what the past 8 years. So their expectations are high, but not that high. LSU, on the other hand, they're just astronomically high every year. So I think, and plus, you don't have the governor involved in your salary or negotiations. So I think Florida is much better than LSU.
I wouldn't say much better. I would say maybe more. LSU's the better job. Okay, let's just put that out there. Right now, at this point in time, LSU is the better job than Florida. But to your point, I would say LSU is almost in a Auburn-like situation. It's a better program than Auburn is at this point in time, but there are high expectations. Brian Kelly, it did not go well the last 3 games, much similar to James Franklin. But Brian Kelly won 70% of his games at LSU and still got fired. So there's that. It's you're going to, and he's okay. Brian Kelly's okay. He got nearly a $60 million payout from it. But
They're still under negotiations for that.
okay, well, either way, he's getting paid no matter what. Um, LSU is the better job, but with that comes a lot of pressure. You have to win. You don't have that same kind of pressure at Ole Miss, and you're not going to have that same kind of pressure, at least right away, at Florida. It will come eventually.
In 3 years, it will be there.
Yes. But if you took the LSU job, you'd be expected to turn things around now, especially with the way NIL is and the way that players can currently transfer. You can improve your program a lot faster than you don't need 4 years anymore to change the program. You can do it in a year or two. And so LSU would expect that. The
Lane
fan
is proof
base,
you can do it within a year.
yes. Uh, yes. Nothing to add to that. What Lane should do and what he will do. So you said he should follow the money, but he will stay in Oxford, you think?
Yeah, what I think he should do and what would be best for him. What would be best for him is to stay put.
Okay. But you think he will leave. What do you
Oh
think
yeah,
he'll do? Okay.
go to Florida. Well, what would you rather live in, Mississippi or Florida? I mean, Mississippi's last on just about every category you can come up with. They're last. So yeah, I would get out of Mississippi, follow the money, and go to Florida.
Well, I like Florida. I could definitely live in Florida. I would rather live in Florida than Mississippi. Having said that, if I if I had to live in Mississippi, Oxford probably isn't the worst place to be. I don't think it's as great of a place as people make it out to be. I've been through it. Not much for me. Um, there are nicer areas in Mississippi. They do exist, but uh, people have made ties with Lane Kiffin when he was at FAU, which I don't know if you know anything about Gainesville, but you're not anywhere near water. You're going to have to work to go get around water. You're kind of right in the middle of Florida,
Hmm.
basically. So that's not a big like selling point really, but it is the University of Florida. There is a hotbed of talent in Florida. Uh, yeah, it's on paper the better job, I guess. But today, in today's day and age of football, I think it's a lateral move at best. I don't know why you would. They've got money at Ole Miss. They've got
Yeah.
NIL money at Ole Miss. They've got a deal apparently waiting for Lane Kiffin to extend him. They're going to pay him. They have money in Oxford in the state of Mississippi. They
Yeah.
have prominent, wealthy alumni. They can find the money. And reportedly Lane is torn. He's torn as far as what to do. He likes. I think it's coming down to Florida and Ole Miss. I don't think LSU's really in the mix,
No.
mainly because of the pressure I mentioned, like the win now mentality. You got a little time at Florida. Plus, Lane loved living in Florida, and there is a lot of talent there. The other is in Louisiana, but yeah, Florida, hotbed of talent. But you're also competing with two other big time universities there within the state. So you've got
Yeah.
that to deal with. What Lane will do, I think Lane will end up staying. I think he'll end up staying at Oxford.
I would prefer that he go to Florida. That way we don't have to see him every year. That's just me, though.
I agree with that. And I think he should stay in Oxford.
He should. He's
I
got it
think he
made. So,
it's a perfect situation for him. I didn't think he would have as much success as he's had at Ole Miss, and he's found something that worked. That program has a buzz to it, and it's because of him. When he got there, suddenly Ole Miss kind of had boring colors to me when we grew up watching them, and just within the last 10 years, they were always that dark navy or whatever it is, and the red that wasn't quite red, but it was a brighter red, almost like this hat red that I'm wearing. And it just was kind of boringish colors. And then he gets there, and then all of a sudden they're rocking powder blues like the baseball team, the baby blues, and then they almost like a creamish helmet that looks really glossy and neat. And they're switching up their unis and all that, and it's flashy. And the offense looks great. It is really flashy, and you get talent in. You're winning 10 games. You're likely going to get in the playoff this year. You should have been in there last year. He's built something at Ole Miss. There's a buzz there. He's a rock star there. He can win 8 to 10 games a year and have that job for as long as he wants. And he's going to make a lot of money. He's going to make a lot
yeah.
of money there. You go to Florida, you go back to being Lane Kiffin from 2007 or whatever year it was when he took the Tennessee job, and he was there. He went 7-6, but there was a lot of buzz there, a lot of hype around the program. And then he goes to USC, and then it's just all we know the story from there. And if you don't, you can look it up. We don't have that much time on the show. Um, I think Lane will eventually. He's not dumb. He's a smart guy. He'll see that this is the best situation for him, I would think. And the question is, why would you leave? Why would you leave? It's the talent at Florida. You say he's going to get a bump, and yeah, pay bump, but Ole Miss can bump that too. They'll extend him. I don't think there's a big difference in money there. I wouldn't think. Um, the only reason I would think would be recruiting. But in today's day and age with NIL, it's not like it was, when we were in school or even before that, where it's just let's build a wall, let's build a fence around the state and cherry pick here and there from others. Guys go in that guys just follow the money now. Players just follow the money. It's not it's not like it was, years ago, several years ago, where you went to the prestigious program. Players want to go where they want to win, but they also want to get paid. And going to Ole Miss is over Florida isn't crazy nowadays. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but it only ain't been crazy for like 3 seasons. So, but
But
yeah,
right now, Right now is all these players know.
That's
Right
true.
now, the last few years is all these players know.
Yeah,
We'll
for
see
a
how.
program, yeah, for a program that can't even decide on what their own freaking mascot should be, he took them a lot further than what I would ever thought. So, what are they? The Bears, the Rebels, the Sharks? Nobody knows. They're just the sit.
Well, it's no worse than Auburn. What's Auburn? It's like, okay, you're the Tigers, but you're what's War Eagle?
Their live mascot, the War Eagle. So it was story. I've told this story on here
Oh,
before,
Auburn
but
guy. Here we go. Auburn guy lectures.
I'm just
It's not.
saying.
It's not that different. Alabama's the Crimson Tide, and they have an elephant. It's the same ordeal.
Everybody's at two. They're at three, four. So
Well, they're one upping them. They're one up in the state of Alabama. I kind of respect it now that I think about it. But we know the history behind that. They were the
next thing you know,
rebels.
they'll be claiming unclaimed national championships from 1905 or something. So,
Maybe if Lane leaves, they might. If he sticks around, they'll probably end up winning one.
oh,
Maybe.
I don't know about winning. I don't know about winning. They'll probably get there, but I don't see them winning one. So,
Yeah,
of course,
that
I never seen them winning a national championship in baseball, but they had that one magical year out of nowhere, and they got one. So,
well, every SEC school has won a national championship in baseball, it seems like, within the last 20 years, except Arkansas. But we don't have to talk about that. Uh, yeah, I think Lane will stay in Oxford, and I think he should stay in Oxford. I think if you leave, you're going to have to start over again, and it's a lateral move at best. Yeah, you can turn things around a lot quicker today in today's day and age, but why go build elsewhere for a little bit more money, if that?
I don't think it's going to be a little bit more money.
I think Oxford will match, or at least come close to matching whatever he's offered by Florida or LSU.
I don't know if they're going to want to match their Florida's counteroffer, though.
They probably don't want to, but I think they'll find a way. Like they'll find Lane's going to get paid either way. Whether he leaves or whether he stays, he's going to get paid. And he, I don't know. He's saying it's not a distraction, but of course it's a distraction. How could it not be?
Gotta be. Yeah.
It has to be a distraction for players, etc. Because there's when there's smoke, there's some fire. Um, Apparently, his family is flying out to Baton Rouge to the Gainesville area, scoping things out, something along those lines. So he's listening, which he should. He should
Yeah.
listen to other offers. Absolutely, you'd be dumb not to. If anything, I mean, don't cost yourself. Even if you're planning to stay at Ole Miss, or if that's your preference, you can get a pay bump out of
Yeah. Yeah.
it.
But yeah, I'll agree. I'll go back to what I said earlier in the season that Lane will stay put just to break his narrative that he set for himself over the last 10, 15 years. And that
Yes.
narrative is, hey, I only stay at places for 3 years max, 4 years max, if you're lucky, before I'm gone. So, and he's hit that mark, that milestone at Ole Miss. Yeah, and he's probably been telling for the last 3 years, I'm your guy for life. So, yeah, I don't know. I think he'll stay.
But it is Lane Kiffin. We don't know. Now, had you told Lane to, or like, because this is what his sixth season now. Is that right?
Has he been there that long?
I think so. I think that's the case. I don't know if that's
Mm.
right, but I think it's along those lines. Uh, Pretty close to that anyway. If you would have told him when
Can we
he,
sign Pittman? That's okay.
yes, yeah. But if you told me, or if you would have told Lane Kiffin when he took this job, would you that he will stay at Ole Miss over future offers from Florida and LSU, even Auburn? I think he'd say you're crazy. He's getting out of there,
Yep.
to one of those bigger jobs. But he's turned this program into something that is could be on that level. Could be. At least I don't know about consistently, but at least while he's there. Like they can contend for national championships in this current NIL age. I mean, they're doing that this year, and I don't think they'll win it, but they'll get in the
Oh,
playoff.
they're going to get boat raced in the playoffs. once they see like a decent defense, they'll get boat raced.
I think they'll score points on anybody. I just don't think they can stop
Mm.
other
Oh, they
either.
can't. No.
Yeah. Um, yeah, Ohio State would roll. Indiana maybe even, but Lane sticks around. They could have that one magical year where it happens.
I'm saying Notre Dame rolls on them. That's what I'm saying.
I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
And that's a
That's a
very
team.
possible. That's a very good match. That's a matchup that has a very good possibility of happening if things stay the way they are.
That would be fun to watch, though.
Mm.
Notre Dame, Ole Miss. That would be a fun one to see. But it's like this is just us guessing. Of course, we have no inside knowledge or scoop or anything like that. I've been out of the reporting game for a long time, so I don't have never had those connections anyway. But I definitely don't now. Um, so this is just us guessing. But I think he's smart enough to know that I got a pretty good gig here. I don't want to screw this up. Well, why do it? It's a
It would be hilarious if he did.
yes, it would be. It's a win-win really if you stick around because you can still compete right now at Ole Miss in today's day and age, and you have much higher job security than those other
Yeah.
two spots. So for those
The job,
reasons, I think he'll stay at Ole Miss.
yeah, job security alone is worth it, especially this day and age where everybody fires their freaking head coach in year three.
Not everybody. Arkansas kept theirs for what 4 well 4.4 and a third, something along those lines.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, we can talk about Razorback football for a little bit. Have you just have you just basically accepted that Razorback football is just never going to be good?
This year, yeah. I've accepted it for the foreseeable future. They tried to get excitement going. They Taylor Green comes out, throws a pick. His guaranteed pick a game. He threw that on the first possession, I think. So off to a great start there. We did, however, block the punt and return it a whole 5 yards for a touchdown. And then we turned around and scored again, 14-0. And then we just watched them steadily blow that lead in any way possible. Um, uh, my favorite was right before the half, right before I turned it off. Was watching us march the ball down the field and tailing. We're on the 7 yard line going in to score. Hey, I'll just throw it directly to the defender. We don't need a touchdown here. And we only got a minute left. Yeah, that's plenty enough time for to let LSU go down and kick a field goal, which ended up being the major difference in the game. But yeah, at that point, I was like, you know what? I don't have to subject myself to this shit. I'm going to turn it off and go do something else like watch paint dry or drop crap on my foot. Anything's more enjoyable than watching that team.
Just like the drop crap on your foot. We're always going to talk Razorback football though, just to get you fired up a little bit. I could tell you didn't want to, and then it just came out. All the whatever you're feeling inside about it just came out. You couldn't help but kind of get it off your chest a little bit. I get it, understand it. I've just accepted that this season is a loss, and I lost any kind of hope after Auburn. I thought if you can turn things around and get some excitement back, you win at Auburn, and then you go from there, and you win three or four of those games. Right?
It
You
took you
have a
that late?
chance. Well, you have a chance
My-
if you can get this one. And when
yeah.
they collapsed like they did in that fourth quarter against Auburn, I was done. I was like, okay, I don't care anymore. I just don't care. And I
I was
tuned
done on
in.
the Memphis game.
See, fortunately,
That's whenever I was done.
I haven't had to watch a lot of these. I've had a very busy running schedule this year, my busiest ever, and one I will not duplicate ever again. At least as far as how busy I've been running this year. And so I was on the road. I was coming back from Fort Smith for the Memphis game. I was listening to it on the radio and I was irritated. I was irritated as can be, but it helped that I didn't have to see it. Like I got an interesting comparison here. So I listen to audiobooks and I read books and I listen to audiobooks, right? And I admittedly like to read and listen to books that can be pretty gory and intense and stuff that is pretty gross to most people as far as the amount of violence and etc. As long as the story's good, I don't like just the shock factor. But I can listen to and read some pretty dark stuff. But if I'm watching it, like if I like I watched the first Terrifier movie, right? And it was too much. It was too much for me. I was like, I have no interest in seeing two, three, and I think there's a fourth one now. Actually, seeing it was too much for me. Even though I know it's a movie, and some of it was even kind of funny to me, but it was still just like, this is not something I want to continue on. But I can read it and listen to it all day. So I think that's why I wasn't as bothered. I was annoyed and also, but still, after the Auburn game, I was done. I was like, I don't even care what happens from here on out. And then, and I was coming back from Hot Springs Saturday. I did a 10K there. I got lunch there in Hot Springs. I got coffee. I took my time coming back to Benton, and I was watching the game at the girlfriend's house in Benton, and then we were up. See, I didn't really pay attention to what was going on until the second half. And then I watched most of the third quarter. And at the end of the third quarter, we were what, up six?
I don't know.
I think it was six. And I told her, I said, we're gonna lose this. We're definitely gonna lose this. I don't know why. Well, I know why, because it's shown time and
It
time
sucked.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been shown time and time again. They find ways to screw this up. And she even said, "Yeah, they're going to lose this." What happened? That's what happened. That's exactly what happened. To the point, I found it comical, and then just said, "All right, well, let's watch a movie or something." Because because same old song and dance, and I just found it funny at this point. Not the end of Chad Morris's era funny. Like that was just comical how bad that team was, how bad that team had gotten, and how badly they were losing games. At least this Arkansas team was competitive, but you still lost.
Chad
And
Morris team won 2 games, right?
yeah, I guess so. But they got blown out in in all the SEC games. I mean, and some that weren't SEC games. I'll never forget them making Ty Story look like Patrick Mahomes or Tom Brady or whatever great quarterback you want to insert in there. But it was comical how bad that team was. The outcome, the consistent close game, but same outcome is almost, you have to laugh at it at this point. It's what it is. But I heard Trey Biddy talk about it's Arkansas fans deserve better than this. Many have just accepted that the program's never going to be good and that they're going to put their focus on basketball, baseball, etc. And he was basically saying that it's a shame that it's come to that and that Arkansas fans deserve better than that. And they do. I think there's no think, it's been proven. You get the right guy in place, Arkansas can win 8 games. They can win 7 to 8 games a year. And just win one that they shouldn't every now and then. That could be that program, and I'll take that.
With us not playing Bama every year, we should be winning 9 games. 9 games should be a reality. The way they've got these pods set up.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you're
I
playing
hate it.
nine conference games a year now, starting next year.
Doesn't matter, man.
Yeah, it
Doesn't matter.
does. In the
That should be
SEC,
what we're
man.
aiming for. We shouldn't be aiming for 7 and 8 win seasons and calling it good. Yeah, we're Arkansas. We freaking suck. But if Ole Miss can do this shit, so can Arkansas.
Yes, you're correct. But let's get to seven. Let's get to a 7-8 win a year program first, and then we can worry about taking that next step, like they
We
did
were
with
there
Bobby
last year.
Petrino.
We were there last year. We were 7 win. We were there. And then we turned a new year. Hey, we shit the bed. We didn't just shit the bed. We shit all over the walls, on the ceiling, on the floor, in every nook and cranny, in the pillowcase. We just did it all.
In their own mouths. I mean, in each other's mouths.
Yeah.
It's been a mess. It's been very messy. But that's the thing. You didn't win 7 or 8 games this year. You won two. You haven't won since the start of September.
Hey, but we beat freaking
Arkansas State.
ASU. Yeah. Who cares?
Who cares? We won we're the state champions. Man, I don't know if that'd be the case. If Arkansas played Harding University, I'm not so sure Arkansas wins that.
No, we couldn't stop that triple option.
No, Harding would have
Dude, they'd have
Harding
600 yards rushing.
offense. Yeah, Harding's offense against Arkansas's defense. Harding would have 700 yards
And
rushing.
and all they got to do is stop us once because we ain't stopping them. Oh,
And
and oh, I say
Taylor was
stop us
hurt.
once. They just have to sit around and wait for Talon to freaking throw his 2 picks a game. That dude sucks, man. He ain't even going to be a car dealer at this point. He sucks.
He is consistently inconsistent. He's been the same guy from Boise State to now,
I
consistently
guess,
inconsistent.
yeah, I guess being that tall, man, you got to lack oxygen going through the brain sometimes. Usually, whenever you drop back to pass, from what I'm guessing.
Uh, it's been an interesting show. Um,
No
there's
wonder
still
Boise State was only
here's
one to recruiting.
yeah, but here's the thing though. There's still a chance Petrino will be the guy
Oh, I know.
just
But
by
didn't you hear
default.
we're getting Gruden, man. We've got him signed, locked, and loaded. We're just waiting to announce it after we lose the freaking Battle Line trophy again.
What do you mean lose it? Like it's Missouri's trophy,
Yeah,
just not winning it.
whatever. Can we just forfeit the next 2 weeks and just make the announcement now? Because it'd save me a lot of heartache. It'd save me time. I don't have to waste my time watching that shitty product go out on the field for 3.5 hours at a time. That right there saves me 7 hours total.
You're not watching
Do
that
it.
whole time though, are you?
No.
Yeah, I say I haven't watched a whole. I haven't watched a whole game in a while.
I probably won't even watch any of the Missouri game because I'm sure we'll lose to Texas. So yeah.
I'll tune in for a little bit, maybe.
In
Well,
fact,
when is it? When is the Missouri game? Is it the Friday after Thanksgiving?
I don't know.
I don't even remember
I think it
anymore
got
when they
moved from
would.
Black Friday and now it's Saturday.
Now it's
But
Saturday. Okay, I'm
yeah,
going to be
I
in
plan to
Hot
be
Springs
on the
that day.
road both Saturdays and maybe listening. I will not be watching that game.
So yeah,
Those games.
I'll be in Hot Springs that day. My uncle is an LSU fan, but I'm sure we'll probably have the game on at least for a little bit, and I'll pay attention for a little bit if it's interesting. If not, then I won't. Uh, but yeah, there's a chance Petrino will be the guy just because nobody else wants it, and people can say, "Well, let's see what Petrino can do when it's his team the whole year or off season or what have you." There, that argument will be made.
Unless they start letting us play defense with 15 defenders, I don't see him being the answer.
I don't think
His
so.
teams has never
I
been
don't think
able to
he
have a
is.
good defense.
No, they haven't. And he's not been successful as a head coach in this new era of college football.
And plus, who are we kidding? Even if we had 15 defenders, there's still going to be somebody sitting in a soft zone wide open just because that's what they do.
How guys can be 20 yards open is wild. for a major Division I football team, an SEC program at that. It's crazy.
There's one play in the first half they put the running back in the flat. Wasn't nobody around him for 20, 30 yards, and he drops it. And our two defenders are sitting over there like, I thought that was your guy. I'm sure they say that every play, but that's what we seen them doing on that one in particular.
Yeah, it's
I mean, these guys have played defensive football before. They did play in high school, right? They're just not. We just didn't pull them off the street and be like, "You look like a D1 athlete. Why don't you go out there and blow coverages for us?" Like that's not what Arkansas does, right? Because they sure could have fooled me.
I don't know. I don't know at this point.
Are we just getting 2 stars at the position? What's going on, man?
Well, last year with Pittman, all our transfer guys were D2 guys. I mean,
Yeah.
Tesla is the only one that's panned out really, and even then, he didn't do that great at Arkansas. He's done all right for the Lions, the Detroit Lions, but he's also had Jared Goff throwing him the ball and a pretty good offensive play calling on top of that. But so maybe it's just 2 star guys or guys they're pulling in. I don't know. Um, I appreciate the art. I appreciate Arkansas at least being interesting enough to talk about. It gives us material. Even like it's comical at this point. But I would like to see the program be successful one day. And by successful, like I said, 7, 8 wins a year to me is I'll take that in this conference.
I'll just take looking forward to a Saturday in the fall at some point. Just give me that. Just give me that, Hogs. Because right now you've ruined my most favorite time of the year. You've ruined it.
Well, don't
So
let them do that. Now, my fantasy team did that. I was the low man this week in fantasy. Everybody shit the bed. It was bad all around. So I'll be paying the $10 parlay this week. And it wasn't even close. And I go from racking up points last week to nothing this week. It was awful. Um, how did your team do?
About the same, but they did put up some points. I was lucky enough to play Luke, where his team pretty much shit the bed, except for his defense that scored triple what they were supposed to, and his wide receiver that scored triple what they were supposed to. And he ended up winning by 20 points. But no harm, no foul. Everybody else in my division below me or tied with me lost as well, so I'm still in the playoff mix. Yeah, just wish I would have won. It would make life a lot easier. Your playoff picture, on the other hand, just got a lot murkier from what I was looking at earlier today.
It did. I've got favorable matchups these last 2 weeks in the regular season. So if I
You're gonna
win,
need some help, though. Yeah,
yeah, I will need help, but there's still a chance. But yeah, it's not looking great for me. But anyway, I don't know. We'll be back next week to talk about whatever's going on in the sports world. But we're out of time, so we'll see y'all next Tuesday, same time ish. But until then, I'm Grandpal.
the Brown.
Deuces, y'all.
Peace.